Sometimes a single cry can freeze a man in his tracks, and the moment you hear what this girl said, you will understand why the rancher stopped breathing. So stay with me till the end, and before we dive deeper into this emotional storm, make sure you like this video and subscribe because what you're about to hear will cling to your heart long after the story ends. The wind howled across the Wyoming plains, kicking up dust as the sun dipped behind the jagged mountains. Rancher Cole Harrison was finishing his round for the evening when he heard something faint, so faint he thought it was the wind playing tricks on him. But then it came again, trembling, terrified, raw. "Please don't leave me here." Cole froze. He whipped his head toward the abandoned barn at the edge of his property. No one had used it in years. He jogged forward, boots pounding the dirt, hand instinctively resting near the knife on his belt. As he pushed the barn door open, a shaft of fading sunlight revealed a scene that made his entire body stiffen. A young woman, no older than 20, sat on the cold ground, ankles tied, wrists bruised, hair stuck to her tear-stained face. She was shivering uncontrollably, her voice breaking as she whispered again, "Please, I don't want to die here." Cole's breath left him. He knelt, cutting the ropes with swift precision. Hey, you're safe now," he said softly. But the girl jerked back, terrified. "No, they said they'd come back. Please don't let them take me again." Cole's jaw tightened. Whoever they were, they had left her here like trash. He lifted her carefully, and the moment her weight settled into his arms, he felt something unexpected, a tremble, not from fear, but from relief. She clung to his shirt weakly, whispering, "Thank you, thank you." Cole carried her out into the dimming light, but when he reached his truck and set her inside, her terrified eyes locked on his. You won't leave me here, right?" Cole didn't look away. "I'm not leaving you anywhere. You're coming with me." She burst into silent tears. As he began driving toward his cabin, she flinched at every passing shadow. It wasn't until they were halfway home that she finally spoke. "They took me from the highway. I was hitchhiking, stupid. She gripped her knees. "They locked me up, said they'd sell me, said no one would ever find me." Cole felt a dark heat rise inside him. Traffickers. On his land. In his county. Not if he could help it. "You're safe now," he repeated firmly. When they reached his cabin, he wrapped her in a blanket, lit the fireplace, and handed her warm tea. Only then did he ask, "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Lila." Her voice cracked again. "I thought I'd die in that barn, not on my land," Cole replied. He stepped outside to call the sheriff, but the words never left his mouth. Headlights, 2 trucks, were approaching fast down his long dirt road. Lila saw them through the window and screamed, dropping the mug. "It's them. Cole, it's them." Fear surged through her so violently that her knees buckled. Cole grabbed his rifle, eyes narrowing. "Get behind the couch," he ordered calmly. She hid, trembling uncontrollably, hands over her mouth to muffle her sobs. The trucks came to a stop right outside his house. 2 men stepped out, armed. Cole stepped onto the porch, rifle in hand, heart pounding not from fear, but from rage. "Evening, boys," he said coldly. "What brings you to my property?" One of the men grinned slowly. "We're looking for something that belongs to us." Cole's jaw clenched. "The only thing belonging here is the ground you're about to eat." The man chuckled. "You don't want trouble, rancher." Cole didn't blink. "You brought trouble to my doorstep. What happened next would change everything. And Chapter 2 will leave you breathless." But before we continue, make sure you like this video and subscribe because the next part will shock you. The rancher's fingers tightened around his rifle, the cool metal grounding him as the wind carried the noise of the men's boots crunching over the gravel. Cole had faced wolves, storms, wild broncs. Nothing compared to the darkness he saw in these men's eyes. Inside, Lila crouched behind the couch, shaking violently, praying he wouldn't hand her over. The taller man spat on the ground. "Listen, Cowboy, we just want the girl. She wandered off. She's ours." Cole stepped forward, blocking the view inside his home. "She's not yours. And she didn't wander. She ran." The shorter man lifted his gun slightly. "You're going to move aside, old man, or we're taking her and your property." Cole let out a cold laugh, one that made both men hesitate. I'm giving you 10 seconds to step off my land. The taller man smirked. And I'm giving you 10 seconds to pray. That was enough. Cole fired a warning shot, so close to their feet that dirt exploded upward. The men jumped back, cursing. Next one won't miss, Cole warned. They didn't expect him to fight back. They weren't used to a rancher standing between them and their victim. You have no idea who we work for, the shorter man yelled. Cole stepped off the porch, rifle steady, every muscle ready to protect the girl, trembling behind his walls. I don't care if you work for the devil himself, he growled. You're not taking her. The men exchanged glances and suddenly rushed him. Shots fired. Cole rolled behind a trough, returning fire with deadly precision. One of the men fell to the ground, screaming as he clutched his leg. The other ran toward the house. Cole sprinted after him, but the man was faster. He kicked the cabin door open. Lila screamed and crawled backward. The man grabbed her by her hair. You think you can run from us? He snarled. I own. And then he froze. Because Cole was standing behind him, shotgun pressed to the back of his skull. You touch her again, Cole said, voice low and terrifying, and you'll never speak another word. The man dropped Lila instantly, hands shaking. Within minutes, the sheriff's truck sped up the driveway. Cole had pressed the emergency button in his pocket during the fight. Deputies cuffed the men, while Lila stood hugging the blanket around her small, trembling frame. One of the officers approached Cole. You just took down the biggest trafficking suspects we've been hunting for 2 years. Cole glanced at Lila, then back at the officer. They came to my home. They weren't leaving with her. The officers took the men away, and silence settled across the ranch. For the first time since he found her, Lila took a full, steady breath. She walked to Cole slowly, her voice barely a whisper. Why did you help me? Cole removed his hat, looking her straight in the eyes. Because no one should ever beg to be saved and be ignored. Not on my land, not on my sight. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she clung to him. Not out of fear this time, but gratitude. He lifted her gently, the same way he had in the barn, but now she wasn't trembling. Now she was safe, truly safe. And as the night settled around them, Lila whispered the word that would stay with Cole forever. You didn't just save me. You gave me my life back. Before this story ends, if it touched your heart, even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe because more powerful stories are coming your way.